Whether you have a diagnosis or not, I don't care. I'll teach you how to find what's causing your health struggles using the blood work you already have right here on this podcast, but also in my new book, Why Are My Labs Normal? Go grab it on Amazon and let me know you love it and appreciate the knowledge by leaving a review for both the book and this podcast. Practitioners, you can now register for the In This Together live event with me in Orlando, Florida, February 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Grab the link to register below, get all the details, and know that we're in this together. We're going to celebrate you at this event, and I'm going to bring in the best mindset, marketing, and business experts. But more importantly, I can't wait to meet you in person and give you the biggest hug. See you in Orlando in February 20th, 21st, and 22nd. If you haven't started using Systemic Formulas supplements yet, you should be. Go to systemicformulas.com and mybiome.com, MYBYOME, to learn more. You can also come join me inside their private Facebook group for practitioners called Systemic Formulas Clinical Nutrition. Everyone else can learn more about them and their amazing supplements and their amazing results on Systemic Formulas Instagram page. All right, let's get started, and happy holidays.
Day 2 is all about the metabolic panel. This panel can be short and sweet, or it can be really lengthy and comprehensive. We're going to talk about 6 key markers. And as we go through this, definitely jump in the chat, as you guys have already been doing, letting me know your wins, where you're from, what you're grateful for. But if you have any questions as we go along, jump in the chat and we will get back to them. For now, grab your blood work, because we're going to talk about these 6 key markers. Hold on. I should really do something else before we get into that. Raise your hand if you are tired all the time. Nobody can figure out why. Raise your hand if you think you have liver struggles and your body's not detoxing. Raise your hand if you know what the word leaky gut is. And if you don't, that's okay too. Okay, we got some familiar terms here. I see lots of hands going up. Okay. And lots of people inside. Me. Fatigue, adrenal fatigue, the inability to sleep. So say, like myself, the last, few weeks, you lay down in bed at night, you finally get the kids to sleep, it's midnight, and your brain is going a million miles an hour, and you can't sleep. Who knows the feeling? You lay there in bed, you're exhausted, and yet you can't shut your dang brain off. Adrenals. Okay, so if you're thinking, I deal with insomnia, I have a really hard time sleeping, I wake up and I can't get going, even though that's kind of like me because I hate the mornings, but I'm not adrenal fatigued in that time. Adrenals. The adrenals are these little tiny glands that sit on the top of your kidneys. They're very, very important glands because they produce a hormone called cortisol. And cortisol is our stress hormone, okay? Now, from yesterday's CBC call, we learned that, yes, we have outside stressors, things in the world, in our environment that we can't change. Life is stressful. Life is also to be enjoyed and have fun, not to just survive. The key from yesterday's CBC call was, now you know what's on the inside of your body causing stress. Chances are that same thing on the inside of your body is also causing inflammation. Tackle those, and now you don't have to take turmeric and curcumin, all those other anti-inflammatories forever just to fight it off because you got to the source. Okay. So we're going to jump into 6 key markers and talk about how they can correlate to your adrenals. They can correlate to the term leaky gut, and they can correlate to your liver and its ability to detox. Who's ready? Jump in the comments. Let me know who's ready. I want to see who's the most active in that context. And do you want me to send this video to the practitioners? Yeah, I can start doing that. Ready, 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 anxious, ready, yes. All right, I'll quit talking. Let's do the good stuff. Grab your notes, grab your paper, grab your pens. We're going to first talk about markers sodium and potassium. These 2 markers both correlate, to our adrenals. These 2 glands that produce the cortisol. Now, you might be saying, my hormones are in the garbage. They are in the tank. I've been told I have low progesterone, low testosterone, or low estrogen. Well, your cortisol levels are going to steal from all of that. So if you want to balance out your hormones, focus on these guys. Now, your sodium and potassium can tell you how your adrenals are doing. So the ideal range for sodium is 135 to 140. The ideal range for potassium is 4.0 to 4.5. If any marker on any lab inside your history falls outside of this range, we have some adrenal problems going on. Now, what if you have all the symptoms? You lay down in bed at night, you're physically exhausted, but you can't fall asleep. What if you have to have your coffee in the morning so you can wake up and get ready for the day? But your sodium number is at 137 and your potassium number is at 4.0. That's real and it's common. So if I say if any marker sits on the border of any one of those ranges, we're still fighting some adrenal fatigue. Now, what if your sodium marker is 132 and your potassium is right here in the middle at 4.2? Doesn't matter. Just one marker. That's all it needs. It doesn't matter if it's high or low. But that 132, I would then say you're past the adrenal fatigue stage. Now you're exhausted. Okay. Now, chances are, if you're on this call with me, you know what adrenals are. You know, you've probably tried treating them at some point, maybe thrown on some herbs like ashwagandha into your treatment regimen, and you might have felt a little bit better, but maybe not. Whenever we treat the adrenals, we always, always, always have to balance the blood sugar at the same time. Because the two, it's like a teeter-totter. You got to keep the balance stabilized. Okay. How do I do this? There's two main supplements, GA and Sinulin. Now, GA is going to help your cortisol levels raise or lower, whichever one is needed. The Sinulin is like natural metformin without all the millions of side effects. It's going to help that blood sugar stay like this throughout the day, not up and down like this. If you have hormone chaos going on, this is the most important thing you can take to help balance out your hormones. You've got to make sure the cortisol levels are intact You got to make sure your blood sugar is stabilized. Okay, before I continue on, questions about the adrenals and those two lab markers. Jennifer, that literally is me. Cellular energetic testing revealed she is toxic and potassium, but blood level is 3.9. I would do more of the adrenal stuff. Stimulant, it really just depends. GA, okay, so here we go. About these supplements. Stimulant is a blood sugar stabilizer from systemic formulas. GA is in adrenal, we call it adaptogen, meaning that it will lower and or raise your cortisol however you need it. If you are laying in bed at night and can't fall asleep, I will do this tonight, take my own medicine, take 2 to 4 GA at night. My sodium is at 144, my potassium is at 3.8. So because one of the markers is off, Darlene, I would still focus on the adrenals. Sodium 139 and potassium 4.2. Now you're in the range. Do you have the symptoms? If you have the symptoms of I can't fall asleep, I have to grab my coffee, or I just need a nap in the afternoon. As mom, I would always support my adrenals. I don't do it well enough myself. I can sleep, but I wake up feeling exhausted. Sodium 140, potassium 4.2. So if you wake up feeling exhausted, take the GA in the morning. Can't go to sleep at night, take the GA at night. Do both. It won't harm you either. 138 with 3.9. Now, here's the thing with these ranges, particularly these two markers. They're not conclusive. Okay, so like you guys are all saying, I feel tired, I have the symptoms, but yet my numbers are still within the range. It's not the best way to determine adrenal fatigue, though it's pretty good. If you fall outside of that range, I would say your adrenals are exhausted. If you fall on the border, I would say you're fatigued. But no matter what, if you have symptoms and you feel like you just need a little bit more energy, GA and stimulant is a great place to start. They will not cause you any harm. So that 140 and the 3.6, you're sitting on the border. That 140, I would say adrenal fatigue. Can I have stimulant with tendency to hypoglycemia? Yes. Stimulant works both ways. For low blood sugar, in fact, that's what I take it for, because I tend to drop low and high. Can it replace insulin? No. But it can help out your blood sugar stabilizing. So yes, hypo or hyper works both ways. Okay, give me a thumbs up. We good on this adrenal port? 135, 4.1. So you're sitting on the border, Christine. Definitely adrenals. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. That's the adrenal markers. Again, they're great. They're not conclusive. Okay. Then we have the next two markers inside the metabolic panel that we're going to talk about, and they are total protein and globulin. These markers can signal leaky gut. Now, what do I mean when I say leaky gut? Think about your gut as your small intestine. Your cells should be compact, tight like this, so nothing gets through. Because we live in 2022 and our environments are taking tolls on our body, we now have gaps between our cells. So what goes inside our GI tract can either get absorbed and then eliminated, or it gets absorbed and then the extra stuff can leak through the cells. Hence the term leaky gut. Now, I've had people say to me, well, I have migraines because I have leaky gut. I have this because I have leaky gut. I have that because I have leaky gut. Leaky gut is just a piece of the puzzle. It's just one piece of your health story. Okay. And inside my book, I go through this where all of these puzzle pieces that you're finding in your labs are simply that. They're puzzle pieces. It's going to teach you inside your labs what you need to go from where you are to where you want to be from unhealthy to healthy. We don't treat diagnoses. We don't treat symptoms. We treat you as a whole person. And what you need is found inside your labs. So leaky gut is one piece of the puzzle. Cool? Okay. Here are the ranges for these two. Total protein, 6.9, to 7.4. Globulin, 2.4 to 2.8.
Kylie, some people are asking if globulin is under another name because they don't have it on their test.
Sometimes globulin's not going to show up unless it's underneath the comprehensive metabolic panel. So you'll most likely always have the total protein. Globulin is hit and miss. And it doesn't matter, either one of them will work. Because leaky gut causes histamine intolerance, possibly, but that's going to be more of an inflammation, Kat. Jump into the CBC and check out that inflammation portion. Leaky gut's going to cause more of food sensitivities, not necessarily histamine intolerance. There's another, yeah. So like I said, sometimes globulin will be there, sometimes it won't. And if it's not, it's okay. You got total protein. So the same rules apply. Anything low or anything high on either one of these markers, think leaky gut. So you're going to have a globulin of 2.6. You're going to have a total protein of 6.8. Leaky gut. Now say you have a total protein of 7.8 and a globulin of 2.1. This would be like, okay, leaky gut is a big time player. It's something that we really need to focus on in that gut healing portion. When both markers are so far outside of that range. Okay, give me a thumbs up. How are we on the total protein and globulin? Or just the total protein? Getting it? Borderline. Protein at 6.7, globulin at 1.9. That would be big time leaky gut at 1.9. Total protein at 6.8. So you're sitting on the border there. If I remember, 6.9. Jennifer, leaky gut's a piece of the puzzle. Ein, 6.4, 2.3. Definitely a big part of the leaky gut package with that 6.4. Now, what do I do for leaky gut? Because you're live, you get all my secrets. Even all the practitioners on the call. Here's my leaky gut protocol. L-gut. Vista 1 and 2. And some antioxidants to protect rocks. So L-gut is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to give your body the ingredients to put the cells back together. Vista 1 and 2 is very, very good at healing cell walls. So every organ we have is made up of cells. Every tissue we have are made up of cells. We want to make sure that wall is healthy and strong. Vista 1 and 2 will help do that. And then rocks is full of antioxidants, which will protect our cells. There you have it. There's my leaky gut secret protocol. Any recommendations against pregnancy and breastfeeding? No, all those are good. When it comes to pregnancy and breastfeeding, I would stay away with any detox supplement. And really, that's just about it. Any detox or any gut destruction. So Vivi, Bactrex, Fungdx, Bind, anything that's going to destroy or drive detox pathways, because that will just go into the breast milk and into baby. My total protein is exactly 7.4. Am I okay? You're sitting on the border. So as if you have symptoms like food sensitivities or gut complaints or autoimmune, work it in. There's no harm ever in taking those 3 supplements. I mean, in some way, in some form, I think we should all heal our leaky gut, all heal our gut, and that's part of it. So if you want to do a little bit of maintenance or a little bit of healing, that's also great. Total protein is 7.4. So same thing, Darlene, 6.6 and 2.2. I should have these memorized by now, but I don't. 6.6 is low, 2.2 is also low. So Tina, definitely leaky gut in your health story. Okay, I think we got this somewhere. Jennifer, will you let us know if there are any of our current supplements or vitamins that we shouldn't take with these and the ones? When it comes to taking supplements that I would recommend with the ones that you're already taking, here's my word of advice. 1, stop taking what you're currently taking and switch over and take what I would recommend. Or 2, continue to take what you're taking and add mine included with it. Here's the question I always want you to ask, and I go in with this idea inside the book. Because people are taking buttloads, cupboardfuls of supplements and not feeling anything different. Ask yourself, is the supplement I'm taking treating a symptom, or is it getting to my underlying causes or concerns? Is it helping my body heal from an underlying perspective, or am I just taking it to hopefully help with this symptom? Yeah, Alex, that's literally why I became a practitioner. Yep. Cocktails of supplements. How long do you take the supplements for leaky gut specifically, Brenda? I would do 1 to 3 months. If you're sitting on, my labs are good, 1 month. If you're I'm sitting on the border, 2 months. If you're like, oh, I'm off, I'm out of range there, 3 months. And then if you really want to get it really good, do that leaky gut, L-gut, Vista 1, Vista 2 rocks, and then add in a food component. Janet, see, food's still important. Here it is. For 21 days, get the junk out of your gut so it can heal. People always ask me, what do you want me to do about my diet? First, has any dietary change for you worked? If so, let's kind of revert back to that. Or 2, during this leaky gut healing, let's remove some inflammatory foods so you can get even more healing done. Those inflammatory foods for me are the 4 big ones: gluten, dairy, soy, and refined sugar. Eliminate those for 21 days, and you will reset your body, reset your inflammatory markers. Alex, is the roadmap in the book? Not necessarily, but there's a lot more good stuff in the book. The roadmap is the free guide. So that free blood work cheat guide that walks you through the 5 steps, that's the roadmap. Are these okay to take since I've had gastric bypass and kidney cancer? Yes, just make sure your GI tract can handle it, Nicole. So you might want to do like 1 capsule or really it's just 2 capsules 1 time a day. So it's pretty simple. Just make sure your gut can digest it, but it should be totally fine. Okay, I think I missed a couple of questions up here. 7.5 and 3. 7.5 and 3. So both of them are off, Stacy. I would do probably a 2-month. L-gut, Vista 1, Vista 2 rocks. Unless you have major gut symptoms, then I would do 3. And when it comes to infections, yes, infections first. So if we're talking about the plan of healing, the first plan is always support. Make sure your body has what it needs to do some work. And then the second one came from yesterday's phone call. What do I need to destroy? Are there viruses, bacterial, fungal, or parasitic infections I'm fighting? And then this call, this leaky gut, is step 3. Let's heal the gut, replenish it with the good guys. So far, if we have all these issues from yesterday and today, which do we, Tina, I hope that helps. So first step, support like iron, vitamin D, B vitamins, healthy fats. Second step, infections from yesterday. Do that first. And then third step, this call, leaky gut and replenish. If you have a bacterial, viral, and leaky gut, you take all these supplements at the same time. So same thing, Heidi. First, viral and bacterial infections. Get the bad guys gone, then heal. You guys are getting gold. This is like what I teach practitioners. But hey, it's time we all take charge of our health. Are you ready for the 2 more markers? Okay, these 2 markers are all about liver. And your liver is part of the detox system, okay? Everybody grab a drink of water because if you're like me, it's 12:30 and I think I've had 6 ounces total. I don't drink anything else. I just need to drink more. Okay, here we go. These ones are biggies. ALT and AST. The range is 10 to 26. Ideally, we want to float around 15. That's like optimal, like your liver is doing awesome. What if you see a marker that ALT is 47 and AST is 27? Your liver needs some help. And when I say liver, I'm not saying fatty liver disease. I'm saying our liver is our main detox organ, and we live in a toxic world. So the burden being placed upon your liver is a lot. It's not keeping pace. So let's help out your liver, but more importantly, let's help out your entire detox system. What if you see an ALT of 14 and an AST of 14 and an ALT of 22? That's good. Your liver's doing pretty good. We good there? Very rarely will you see it low. I've seen a handful of 8s and 9s. That's it. And I'm not going to address anything that's low because it's really not necessary. Just focus on anything that's high. And I've seen them in the hundreds, the 200s. I've seen them off the charts. And yet they were still told that the other labs were normal. Okay. AST of 23, ALT of 28. Throw in some LS support, some simple support. 26 and 12 looks good. 32 and 19. If you're like one marker is just slightly elevated, a simple liver support would be fine for a month. Again, we live in a toxic environment, so it's not like taking a little liver support is going to do any harm. In fact, I have LS up in my cupboard upstairs. Okay. Now, here's a couple really cool applications that nobody ever talks about when it comes to liver. Say your teenage daughter gets put on birth control, and 2 weeks after birth control starts, she starts to spot. Or anytime you get put on birth control and you have the spotting. Okay. Most people will run and get birth control taken out. You can totally do that. I'm not opposed to that. However, me personally, I don't want to get pregnant. So I'm going to stay on birth control. What do you do about it? Well, what that signal is when you're experiencing spotting is the hormones from the birth control. It's too much for your liver to handle. So a really simple way to work around birth control is to provide some liver support to girls. Now, just as we talked about earlier with the adrenal support and the blood sugar support for hormones, the liver and the detox system is just as important for hormones. Your detox system is responsible for taking the extra hormones and breaking them down. Heavy, painful periods, liver. Endometriosis, liver. Does that make sense? Endometriosis and heavy, painful periods is when the estrogen keeps getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher because the liver is too busy doing other things. It never gets the chance to break down estrogen. So the periods keep getting worse and worse and worse. That's your practical application of some direct liver responsibility as part of our hormones. Same thing with menopause. The most important thing you can do to have a happy, healthy menopause and premenopause, GA for adrenal support, blood sugar support, and liver support. When do you take LS in the plan if your liver markers are elevated? You can add LS at the very beginning. You can for sure add it in the gut destruction phase. So as you're starting to kill off the bad guys and bind is already in there, you're automatically getting that liver support. You can add in an LS if you'd like. You can do that early on. You can do it with the hormones. Really, you can do it anywhere. And then at the very end of it all, if you really need a full-on detox, that would be the very last step. Detox done right. I have heavy periods, but both numbers are a 9. Dang it. This is why I say they're great, but they're not like conclusive. LS and bind. It will change your life, Brenda. Before the next period go grab your LS and bind. And that will help eliminate that estrogen. Now, remember, I guess I haven't ever talked to you about the bind yet. The bind must be taken by itself. 2 hours before, 2 hours after. Because it's really good at binding to things and eliminating them. So if you take supplements with it or pharmaceuticals with it, it's just going to bind to it and become expensive pee. So LS and bind are very simple liver supports. If you want to do the full-on detox, which I highly recommend at like 1 time a year for just healthy maintenance, that's the Detox Done Right 90-day kit. And again, that would be the last phase of healing. Both of mine are at 22. Great. Or 21. That's awesome. Okay. There's the liver. And that's how you guys figure it out inside your normal blood work. 10 to 26 is the range. Smack dab in the middle of 15 is the ideal marker. $66 and $40 liver support. At that point, I would do the full-on 90-day kit. AST of 30, LS and bind. But if you're getting above 50s, I would do a full-on 90-day kit. All right, you guys are awesome. You're loading up with all the questions. Okay, let me know in the chat what you learned. 30 and 58, I would do the full-on detox kit. What did you learn inside that chat? Let me know. That metabolic panel, still have work to do. Healing takes time. At least my liver is good. Good. Tanya, I need an overhaul. Don't we all? I've had leaky gut and adrenal fatigue for years. Now you know. Now you know how to treat it. Probably don't need to do a Dutch test and a bunch of other testing. Just look at your CBC. Yes. You can do all the additional testing if you'd like, but your blood work you already have has a lot of answers in it. Brenda hopes to sleep again. Cheryl's understanding her lab's already better. Awesome. This is why we're here. This is why we do the lab portion and to teach it in a very simple way. If you're a practitioner, remember, come join me in the 90-day program starting April 4th, and we will lock you in as a blood work specialist. As you know, a lot of people, right here on this call are looking for answers, healing and hope, and they're finding it inside their blood work. Same call for the practitioner time tomorrow as well. So the practitioners, you can join me at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, this one is at 2. Alex just ordered the book. Awesome. Grab your book. If you haven't grabbed your copy yet, go to drkylieburton.com and grab your copy of the book. They will be shipped the beginning of April. Kelly, we got to finalize this. We're running out of time here. Okay. It's a job, guys. It is such a big job. Okay. Then if we're looking for supplements, go to drkylieburton.com/supplements. And that has everything there. The 90-day kits are the first thing that you're going to see. And then just go to the bottom and click on the next page. Everything else is in alphabetical order. The 90-day kits come with the protocol. We will send that to you in an email with all supplements needed for the full 90 days. And as we talked about yesterday, if you're just feeling way overwhelmed and want me to do a complete personalized plan for you, I'll send that link into your email where you can get that personalized blood work review and plan created by me. Or if you're like, I love this, I'm digging it, I want to learn this and do it on my own, the Academy is there for you as well. I'll shoot that in the email with the fast action taker coupon codes. They will expire Friday. So you can get $50 off a lab review consult. You can get $100 off your Academy using those coupon codes. If you're not getting the emails, shoot me a message on social media or email us. Okay. Yep, let's do that. Let's repeat again the supplements for each one. GA and Sinulin for the adrenals, but it's also going to stabilize blood sugar with the Sinulin. Then we have LS and bind for liver and detox support. And then last but not least, L-gut. Vista 1 and 2. And rocks. That's the combination for a leaky gut. And you guys can just start off simple. Do 2 capsules per day, 1 time a day. And that would get you a month's supply if you ordered 1 of them, and see how you feel. You can always double it and do 2 and 2. But with this one, with this leaky gut protocol, 2 a day of each is all you need. But this one, you can go up to 4, 2 times a day. Or 2 times a day, I should say. So 4 total. Bind, start off with 2. LS at 2, and then bind, I would do 4 at a time. So that would give you a 1 month supply with 1 bottle of each. Is that helpful? Okay. With interactions with supplements, Calm, which is one that we haven't talked about, is the only one that you cannot take on an antidepressant. Everything else is good. You are good to go. Do you receive CEUs for modules in the academy? I wish. Christine, it is a process to get those approved for CEUs. Maybe a few years down the road, we'll be able to get them. But what I can promise is that inside the 90-day practitioner one, guaranteed ROI. Because the ones for the academy is for patients. You're welcome to get in there, but it's geared more towards patients, not practitioners. If blood sugars drops in the 60s during the nighttime, will stimulant help to stabilize? Yeah, it should. Take it at night, 2 times before bed. Will stimulant replace my Victoza? I can't say that it will replace medications. But I can tell you most people get off of their medications and use stimulant instead, as long as it's not diabetes. So we're not tackling diabetes with stimulant. We're doing just stabilization of blood sugar throughout the day. I'm not quite sure what Victoza is for. Oh, would stimulant replace my Victoza daily injections for hypoglycemia? Holy smokes. Shoot me an email on that one. Can I continue my progesterone and DIM? Yes, you can. My DHEA and DIM on the protocols, for sure. Best advice if you're torn between the academy sign up or having do the write-up. Do you want personalized help? Do the write-up. That one's the best one. But the academy is still dang good. Everything that's in there, like the thyroid program that's inside the academy, is like the best thyroid program I've ever seen. Yes, I created it, but it's really good. Do them both, Tina. Why not? Then the academy you have lifetime access to. You can refer back to it at any blood work that you ever get in the future. The write-up is typically $495. If you use your $50 code before the end of the week, it's $445 for me to look at your labs and create you a personalized supplement plan. And then as far as the supplements, you would want to plan on like $300 a month in supplements after that. And depending on how many months, just depends on how you feel and what I find in your labs. It's typically between 6 and 12 months, the healing, how long it takes to heal.
Hasn't this season just been so good? We will end it right before Christmas on December 22nd and be back in January for more. Now, along with our incredible in-person event in this together live in Orlando, Florida, you have one last opportunity to come join me live over the virtual Zoom feed. December 13th and 14th is the final live Master Bloodwork event with a twist. December 13th and 14th, block the dates, 1 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern, both days. Go to the link below to learn more and register. You can also register for the conference right now and get your early bird pricing. All right, let's get going and let's impact the world one life at a time, one podcast episode at a time.